Hello, and welcome to On My Shelf. Today I'm talking about a middle grade book that's not quite a novel in verse, but is a fun journal entry book. It's a cross between a verse novel and an epistolary novel. This journal belongs to Ratchet by Nancy J. Kavanaugh, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is about Ratchet. Her actual name is Rachel. She is a homeschooled girl, her dad is a mechanic, and she knows a lot about cars. Her goal is to learn more about her mother who died, and she wants friends. So she starts the journal as part of a homeschool type project. Nancy J. Kavanaugh also wrote a lot of other middle grade novels, including, but not limited to, Always Abigail, Just Like Me, and When I Hit the Road. I haven't read any of these, but they're certainly on my list now. There was a lot to love about This Journal Belongs to Ratchet. The character of Ratchet is very endearing. She attempts attending a fashion group, looking at magazines, trying to fit in with a style, but she's a strong female character who goes against stereotypical norms, and I just really love that. There's also the blending of poetry with prose. I'll get to more of the craft in this, but I really loved the format of it. Each chapter is preceded by a writing prompt of some kind. I've mentioned before that I've always loved non-traditional structures and books that break the rules. And the third thing I really loved overall about this book were the supporting characters. Ratchet's dad is this mechanic guy who's also an avid environmentalist, which means they don't buy a lot of new things. He added a little bit of humor into a book set at a time when kids are just starting to pull away from their parents and become their own people. He was embarrassing and yet endearing. Another supporting character was sort of a love interest, which is okay for this age. Still, I really love it when boys and girls are just friends, but he was a very endearing character as well. From the craft perspective, I really enjoyed the format of this book. It's a really creative blending of poetry and journal entries. They played really well off of each other. I also enjoyed the mystery of Ratchet's mother. She's always wondering what happened to her, which makes the reader wonder what happened to her. It kept the pacing spot on, even with the asides. Ratchet tells her journal that one of her goals is to learn more about her mom. And as a reader, you feel some apprehension, like, is there a reason her dad's never told her more? I also really enjoyed the environmental aspect of this book. It provided a great example of kid empowerment. Even though she's embarrassed about her dad's passion for saving the park, she gets involved. I love kids doing important things. The book shows a great example of that. So here's what we can take away from This Journal Belongs to Ratchet. Number 1, play around with non-traditional structure. So many times we're told as writers to write a linear story, but it's possible to tell a good story in a non-linear way. Number 2, use what you know to make a character come alive. Nancy Kavanaugh knows cars. She worked on them as a kid. Sometimes as a writer, you forget the things you know that could provide more depth to a character. So this encouraged me to delve a little deeper and look into some of the things that I know. Number 3, be playful. The whole book kind of felt like a playful offering. Like Nancy Kavanaugh had a lot of fun with her format, her characters, and the story itself. Getting caught up in the writing, we forget to have fun. So have fun. That's it for today's On My Shelf. If you're interested in hearing an author's perspective on books, movies, and sometimes TV shows, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.